down to nothing. And
Yeah.
you actually made a choice out of something that is an absolute passion of yours.
Mhm.
And clearly it was a passion of Jerry's,
Mhm.
and I think as well as Marcus's, but
Mhm.
you guys, you know,
Mhm.
particularly where you played A grade and a whole range of different really high profile basketball, and
Mhm.
but you had to make a choice. Um,
Yeah, and it really just came down to that.
yeah,
It was really really hard for a really long time. I just remember those years. It was 2 years worth of time where I was working, school, playing basketball, and then obviously the business comes into play. That's a little bit later down the line, but you know it. I got to a point where I had to go to work. Like I had to go to work. I needed money, and then I had to go to practice because
we all do.
they were paying for my school, and so something ended up having to give, and it was just me literally having enough energy just to go to class, and I just didn't. I just didn't. I couldn't will myself to get up and go to class and it wasn't so much the class time. It was me being able to do my schoolwork. Because I'd be in class all day, um and then I'd work at 5 and I wouldn't get off till about 2 a.m. And when I was barbecking, I was working 40 hours a week. So that's a couple nights a week where I'm going to bed at 3, having to get up at 8 because my school is an hour away,
Your
and
family
it
too,
just
right?
got to a lot.
Your
Yeah,
morning
yeah, yeah,
family too. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
huge. Basically, you
yeah.
kind of
So,
living off 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day,
mhm,
as well as having to put the intellectual energy into it, and then the physical energy into the
mhm.
day job, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So just I just had to make a choice. I had to make a choice, and I got myself into a little bit of hole, into a little bit of an academic hole, kind of going through that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it
Yeah,
really,
you,
once I made up my
you
mind, it was an easy choice. What
sorry,
was
you were
that?
saying that you're saying that you had like 18, was it credits? No,
Mm-hmm.
18 units or something. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was trying to figure out what that meant. Like, so does that mean that you were like taking on the standard units that you had to do for your courses, or you were taking on extracurricular stuff to try and get the points you needed to advance in the degree that you were going for?
Uh-huh. So as a collegiate athlete, at most collegiate levels, you have to take at least 12 to be eligible. And
Oh,
most classes more or less are 3 credits. So 12 credits or 12 credits total, 3 credits each, that's about 4 classes. Once you get up to that
this,
17, 18 range, that's about 6 classes, 5, 6 classes. Um,
wow.
then if there's science classes, it could be 5 because you might have some with a lab that have some extra credits attached to them. Um, but yeah, no, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Um, but so I made the decision to retire my basketball career. But given that I made my mind up on what I wanted to do, that wasn't that hard of a decision. What was going to be hard, what was to come, and the work that I had to do, and the academic fight I had to do to kind of get myself back into competition for graduate school. So for the next 4 semesters, my final 4 semesters in school, each semester I never took less than 24 credits in a semester. Um, and I got A's in my days. I believe it was 24 classes. I got A's in 21 of them. and
Wow.
got B's in the rest, the last three. And so I, really, kind of turn the ship around per se, academically. So I got the job done. I was proud of myself. I think I made the decision at the right time. But to your point, it's really hard for people to make hard decisions and just continue to push on. Not forget about just like living with the decision, but having the willpower to just
Mm.
keep on pushing, through the adversity.
And
But
that was the point. That was the thing that actually really got me when I listened to that, is that pardon me, it's for the majority of people, the things that your passion is, that you want to do, is different to,
Mhm,
because that's a, oh, I don't want to say it's a short term thing, but it's something that you have a passion to, and you also have a history with, right? But
mhm,
you've got a bigger vision, and you've always had a
mhm,
bigger vision. You know, you look at all your posts and your videos and things about what you want to do and why you do stuff, right? Everything that you've posted
mhm,
about that, it's a bigger vision. You're not looking about what's going to happen next week or the week after and the next month, even in the
mhm,
next 3 months or the end of the year. You're
mhm,
looking about something that is further than that. That is when you
mhm,
complete, and we know the reason why you're doing, your uh, dentistry, orthodontist. Sorry, I'm not sure
mhm,
what that how to define that, but
mhm.
why
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
go.
you're right. You're right in there. Mhm, mhm,
Right?
mhm,
And the thing is that it's like with a lot of people, and it doesn't necessarily come down to uh, your choices being a degree in something in basketball. It's
mhm,
anything that people have a desire because something that they enjoy doing and something that they
mhm,
really need to advance themselves to a point where they want to be the rest of their lives, and the people
mhm,
that impacts, right? And
mhm,
it's this thing that got me. It got me, man. It got me right fucking here, right fucking here. It got me
mhm,
because she said, I have to make a choice, and I have to let something go that is like one of my biggest heart things. I have to let that go. I actually have to let something go that is been part of me since I was a kid. Um, you know, because it's it's the right thing to do now, though I don't want to. It's the right
mhm,
balance. So you let that go to do this. But the beautiful thing is that you can always, because you have that skill and you have built the skill over those years, you can always come back to that.
mhm,
But a lot of people hold on to the things that they know and they think is good because it's close and it's short time, and they
yes.
give up the long term
Mhm,
because of that.
mhm,
You, and more power to you, made the
mhm.
right
I
decision.
appreciate that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no,
so fucking
I
good,
appreciate that. I appreciate that, and
so
definitely
cool.
couldn't have done it without my parents.
Yes,
You know,
support
but
them.
my parents are funny. They've always been, especially as I've gotten older. My parents have been great. My whole life, love them to death. But they the entire time through that process, they're like you have to be resolved in your decision. So it just set me, sitting in my room, coming off of like one of my worst semesters ever. I was rightfully, upset might not be the right word, but I just knew I was in a pickle and something had to change. Something had to. And whatever decision I had to make, I was going to make it. And then after I made the decision, I wasn't going to look back. I was going to do everything I needed to do to get to eventually where I wanted to be. So once the steamboat got running after I made the decision, shoot, it was really a beautiful process of personal growth. I did a lot of research during that time. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, it's one of those situations where I try to not look 4 inches in front of my face, but look a couple miles down the road to see, what's really going to be the best thing to do right now.
Yeah, that's
And yeah,
interesting.
I'm really happy with the decision I made.
There's an analogy that I'd like to share.
Hmm.
I've been doing personal development for, geez, it's going on more than 10 years now. And one of the things that comes up regularly is about um, they you put up a board and you draw a big black dot,
Hmm.
like a big black dot on a piece of paper, like with a, you know, and then
Hmm.
you face like this close to the point that your nose is touching it, and you see the black dot.
Hmm.
And the majority of people, they stay there and they look at that black dot, right? But when you move away from the black dot, you see the bigger area around the black dot.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and the point is, what you're saying is that, when you're focusing on something so small and things that
Hmm.
that's all you see. If you don't move
Hmm.
back and actually see what else is available to you,
Hmm.
yeah, so you have to pull yourself away from it and then make the decisions from what you see rather than just
Hmm.
keep looking at that dot.
Hmm.
And that's why it's like when you post that, just going, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes,
Hmm.
man, that just means so much. And more people need to make the choice and make the choice because you can always come back to other things. You can always come
Yes.
back to playing your guitar. You can always come back to basketball. You can always come back to
Hmm.
riding a motorbike. You can always come back to, hey, look, I've got to sell the car that I've had since I was a kid, and my grandfather gave it to me, so you get another one later on. There's choices that you make because of the bigger picture, and a lot of people get stuck in the fact of actually this is probably the biggest thing, that nothing, actually everything, I should say,
Hmm.
everything, absolutely everything is temporary. So it
Oh,
doesn't matter.
oh
So
yeah.
you can let shit go.
Mhm.
It's temporary, so you let shit go because you can always pick it up again. But I don't think and it's also what we're talking about, how we are educated in a certain way to think certain ways, but
Correct.
you just yeah, but
Mhm.
everything is temporary, so you can let it go,
Mhm.
and you can, when you choose, and that's the thing, if you can let it go, then you have a choice to pick it up or do whatever you want with it.
Do
But
whatever
if
you
you
want.
don't,
Do whatever you want. Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
but if you don't feel free to let it go, you're trapped, right? So, and mate,
Yes.
you did it, and I did that's why it sticks in my mind when I saw it. Just going, man, that's like so
Mhm.
poignant, so poignant. You let go of one of the biggest things that means so much to you in your group, in your circle,
Mhm.
because of what you needed to do
Mhm.
for you and your family, and it's going to come right back to you, Q.
Let's hope
Yeah,
so.
right.
No, not hope so. I know it will. I know it will. Um,
Mm.
Man, super excited. I can't thank you enough. That really means a lot. Coming from you. But yeah, it's now it's just getting the work done, getting the work done. I haven't really, of course I miss competing at a high level every single day. I'll always miss that. I mean, going back to the education thing, when it comes to, I was training my high schoolers last night. I train a group of high school basketball players now. Um, and my message to them, which kind of contrasts the message I was given as a young athlete, as a high level athlete in high school. was, yeah, basketball is going to be your thing, and basketball is going to be your gateway. That's going to be the thing that you do. So what happens to a lot of players, and I even, had a moment in time where you truly lose your identity because you're going through these youth camps, these all these practices, you're playing in front of this coach, that coach, this coach, and nobody's talking about the bigger picture. Everybody's talking about, okay, what college you going to sign with? And when you're in college, it's really just a day-to-day thing where you're literally just fighting day to day to, you know, get your body to the next thing. And professional athletics is awesome, But I think I was fortunate to be bestowed a particular mindset when it comes to that. And when I look at professional athletes, professional athletics, they're the best in the world, truly. But I think of it as the entertainment industry, and these athletes are paid as entertainers. Once you get to that level, I thought about it. I was like, okay, as I could go down this road, what kind of impact am I going to truly be able to have on other people's lives going down this road? How likely is it for me to get there? And of course, always a confident person, a confident kid. Um, you know, but I lost my train of thought there a little bit, um, but yeah, they just push these athletes to just push everything away and focus on basketball, something like basketball, and lose sight
Mm.
of the bigger picture. These kids have their nose on the wall, their nose on the dot. Then all of a sudden get to a point where they have to retire. They have to hang it up due to injury, or their careers are
Everyone
simply
does
ending.
at
And
some point.
they're yeah. So instead of intentionally, here I'm trying to use your analogy, instead of intentionally moving themselves away from the dot and seeing the bigger picture willingly, they're almost like yanked back by life, and you say, like, you're forced to see the bigger picture now. And then they're like, whoa, like there's so much going on in the world that I had no clue about because all I was focused on was practice the next day, or
Exactly
Weber
right.
State
And
on Friday. So
and studies and how you can balance that with your studies to make sure that you get the
yeah,
grades that you need.
yeah,
And that's what they tell you that you need to do, right? So that's what
yes,
you do. Man, I experienced the
yes.
same thing. For me, it was soccer at school, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
same thing. You get all that
Hmm.
pressure of things, and although in my school it was more rugby and rowing, and I
Hmm.
introduced soccer, and I actually got ostracized because I introduced soccer. But anyway, honestly, I did. Like it's like um,
No, that's awesome.
the school was rugby, cricket, rowing, athletics.
Hmm.
That was, and when I went, well, can we play soccer? They said, what? No, you can't
That's
play soccer.
funny.
You're not
That's
allowed to play soccer.
funny. Uh-huh.
So soccer, football, right? I've
Uh-huh.
gone, well,
Uh-huh.
what? They've gone, well, because we don't do that. We're a GPS school, and all the other schools we play rugby. Not in NFL. We play
Mhm.
rugby and we row and we athletics. And we well, but and so what I did was I put up a notice board of interest to see if anyone's interested in playing soccer. And I got, we got like a huge amount of people putting the names up. And so I took it to the headmaster and said, "Hey, look, this is year 10, 11. So for me, it's like, what am I, 15, 16 years old, going on
Hmm.
17.
Yes, sounds about right.
And I've gone, look, there's this amount of people that want to do it. And they go, okay. So it was like almost a critical mass. And I said, well,
Mhm.
and they said, well, okay, so you're allowed to use an oval, but not on the grounds. It has to be an oval somewhere else, right?
Mhm.
And you can go over there. All right,
Mhm.
okay, no problems. And so we started, kicking around and practicing and teaching and coaching and all the rest of it there. And then that built up. We ended up by year 11 and year 12, we had a under 14A, 14B, a under 15A, a 15B.
Mhm.
We had a first 11 and a second 11, which is the year
Mhm.
12s. By
Mhm.
that time, I just left school.
Mhm.
So I came back and coached them. So
Mhm.
we actually had like three divisions
Wow.
um, that weren't um, technically allowed in the
Mhm.
school.
Mhm.
We designed the strips for them, so we had different. We designed all the strips for the colours
Yeah.
of the school, and got them made, and then we ended up contacting people in different states,
Mhm.
which is for us, Queensland to New South Wales is about 1,000 kilometres. What's that?
Okay. Mhm.
600 miles away. And we went down to those private schools who did actually have play soccer, play football, and
Mhm.
um, and then we competed against them. We actually took a bus all the way down with with the 15 A's and B's, the
Mhm.
first 11, the second 11, took them down and played them against them, and then came back. And all of a sudden, like it's become a thing, and football, soccer is like the number one GPS sport in
Mhm.
Queensland for private schools,
Wow. Wow. It's a hell
right?
of a
But I
story.
mean, like,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's crazy, right? But the thing
Mhm.
is if you don't take that chance, like what
Hey.
you're saying, you don't take
Yeah.
that chance to break the point because the things that you see of a bigger picture, nothing happens, right?
Yes.
That's the point of what my story. It's not about me doing that. It's about the point of the story is that if you don't take the chance like you did, you don't. There's no result,
Yeah.
right? And
100%.
you, yeah, 100%, 100%, which is fantastic. So
Beautiful story. Beautiful
I'm really
story.
excited for you. I'm really excited for you. I mean, how
Uh,
have you found? Have you found the differences and the changes since you've um, and I know it might be hard to say, but releasing basketball, how have you found yourself? Uh, how have you found the growth from that?
astronomical. Astronomical.
Really,
On the
that's big,
and
man. Astronomical.
yeah, on a couple of different fronts as well. So academically, up to that point, so I was kind of start there. Up to that point, I was always a good student, A B student. And then I get to college, and when you're playing collegiate basketball, like it's heavily like your whole life is basketball, not so much school. Like you get through your classes and everything, you do what you have to do. But certainly, like in my case, like I was, couple A's, mostly B's, and throw a few C's in there under the rug. So once I made the decision that I was going to stop playing and focus completely on academics, I spent that whole summer literally just trying to figure out how I learn best, and practicing different mechanisms for me to learn quicker and remember things better. So I spent literally a whole summer just learning that stuff and just doing research. And so once that first semester not playing basketball got started, um, it was all my efforts into figuring out my systems for getting work done. And so over a couple weeks, I started to utilize some of the research that I'd done, started to implement a few different protocols into my routine. And so over the course of the following months, I got to a point where everything was just moving so smooth and crisp. But in that called me, it made me realize, if you want to get better, if you want to improve, it's things like learning better, learning quicker, having a better memory, being more organized in your studying and in your material. Like there's information out there, and you can get better at that stuff. Crucial skills for being a good student. So academically, the growth that I made into becoming, when a top kid in my class academically, that I knew that was one of the changes I had to make the quickest. Because I was wanting to apply to dental school, 2 years later, which where my GPA was at. 2 years is not, it's not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time.
Mm.
So I took 7 to 8 credits every semester moving forward. But I had established the systems, and I established the ability to learn quickly and absorb information quickly. Um, so 24 credits, 7, 8 classes. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And I utilized how I felt in the past, like with practice, and how tired I'd feel, how much my body would hurt in the previous years, while I'm studying, while I'm taking these 24 credits. And so anytime I'd be at my desk and I'd be in quote unquote pain, not physical pain, but just pain, as in I don't want to sit here and do work anymore. Like I'm tired of this. I literally just think to myself, like, you felt so much worse before. You felt so much worse before, more tired physically and mentally. Just continue pushing, just go a little bit further. And that was the mindset for the next 2 years. Um,
And that's
and
resolve.
did really well. Yeah. Yeah. And then personally, in my personal life, while I was playing, I was in, with my ex-girlfriend. And I was living in a situation where we lived at a house with, I think I was living with 5 girls in a house. We were renting a house by the school. My girlfriend, I lived with my girlfriend at the time. And so the living environment was, as you'd expect, being a guy living with 5 girls, one of them including his girlfriend. So that was a very interesting experience.
But
But
you're a gentleman. I think it would have been too difficult.
oh, no, 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 yeah, not like, yeah, no, 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 but
No, no,
just the chaos, and the girls always fighting with each other. Like it was
oh,
just,
I've got big teenage daughters. You don't have to
yeah,
explain it to me.
yeah, it was rough, and just that, and at that time, kind of dealing with everything else, all the stuff I was trying to manage. I was like, man, I have to take much more care of my personal life, my living situation. So my girlfriend and I and her friend actually ended up moving out and getting an apartment. And so I lived with my girlfriend at the time, and her best friend. And that was just as bad. So, but and so when I made the decision to stop playing, I also had to make a decision on the relationship front. Um, it just got to a point where it was something that just wasn't constructive for who I wanted to be.
That's harsh.
So that May, we mutually decided to part ways, and ended the relationship, got out of that space, moved into my mom's on down here in Central Phoenix, and shoot, never looked back.
Mum's right. Mum's
Never
right.
looked back. Yeah.
Wow,
But
wow, that's huge. That's man, there's so much going on there for yourself, life wise and emotionally, study wise. Wow, that's incredible. That's a huge story, man. That's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. And I mean, it's probably still probably a bit of a work, I suppose, in
Mhm.
progress. But you, you still are you okay? Are you okay moving the way you are at the moment?
Oh
Is
yeah.
there anything?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I honestly couldn't be happier, couldn't be of course, like, we go through our day-to-day ups and downs. Some days you wake up a little bit tired, some days you wake up a little bit grumpy. But I
Yes.
truly couldn't be more. I've done so much work over the last couple of years, and I've done a really good job positioning myself, to be able to feel the way I feel now. And I recognize the work that has been done for me to be where I'm at now. So I feel resolved in that. And then I'm just super excited about the future. Super excited about the future. Um, career wise, and getting to dental school and changing the scenery, moving to a new place like Manhattan or San Francisco or Seattle, a new place that I've never lived before, and
A whole
starting
world.
something completely new. Yeah, completely new.
The world
And
is
then yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the world we live in. And in my personal life, mom, dad healthy, brothers healthy, doing good. And so yeah, I'm super, super, super blessed, super, super fortunate to be in the position I am. But it wasn't due to a lack of work. On everyone's part, work was put in. So yeah,
definitely.
just
You're, you're a
excited to
guy.
move. Mhm.
You're a guy that puts the work in. That's clear. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be freaking hell. It could be building a billy cart, mate. But you're the one that puts the integrity with you, and Marcus as well. He's got a really high level of integrity, like yourself.
Mhm.
Um, um, different maybe directions in how you apply
Mhm.
your knowledge and things, but you're inherently the same in those
Yeah,
respects.
yeah. That's why we get along so well. He's We're very
100%.
different,
You
but
can,
same. Yeah,
and that's what we should be. Everyone is different, right? But it's
yeah.
what connects us are the things that link us,
Hmm.
and they're the values that
Hmm.
we have. That's what links us.
Hmm.
Um, Can I say just a couple of things is that you know your wasn't about the values. You guys are rocking on that. Um, oh, what was it that you spoke about that actually triggered something in me that I just wanted to talk about to you, and it was about sorry, I digressed.
No, you're good. I'll let you gather that thought.
Um, just let me have a little think. Because it was actually really kind of poignant to the way that you were, with your life, the way you're talking with things. I just want to go back on. Um, will come to me because it's really quite poignant the things that you said.
When did I say it? When was it?
Um, it was when you were talking about um, just before the family.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'll continue. It'll come to mind.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll come back. It'll
come
come
to
back.
mind. It clearly, and when it does, I'll bring it up. But
Yeah.
it was really quite interesting. What hit me, I didn't want to interrupt you with
Hmm.
what you're saying,
No,
so I
no.
I'm going to try and think back, and to be quite honest, memory is not the same at 60 as it is. How old are you?
24, 24.
Yeah. So memory is different between 24 and 60. Just saying. So I'll
Yeah,
catch up.
I'll give you some grace.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And I feel you.
But
The amount, yeah. My mind's always in a million different places at any given time. So I feel you as far as losing your train of thought and losing uh, especially a particular poignant thought. Those are the ones that'll piss you off. But shoot, it happens
yeah,
to the best of us.
yeah. But I mean, it was I was working with the things that you were saying that you did.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Hmm.
working with your choices and the way you moved, and it's it's very it's a very pliable thing. Um, but there was yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold you to that point. It'll come to me as I
Yeah,
think.
it was. Yeah, no, it'll get back. It'll get back, and so outside of the academic stuff and the personal stuff, yeah, it's like the with dentistry and oral surgery, that's the particular impact I want to have on people's lives, along with the manual and physical skill set that I want to attain. There's something about oral healthcare, particularly oral surgery, um, that's very ancient in a way that people will always need work done on them. People will always need work done on their face. There will always be traumatic injuries to the face. There will always be bad teeth that come in that have to get pulled out. It's like the profession isn't going anywhere, and the best ones in the profession are guys, my mentors. I could just quote their qualities: guys of high integrity, communicate very well, very relatable. Again, high integrity, can communicate effectively. All qualities that I think I represent very well. So when I kind of got into, when I took on these guys as mentors and started to learn and get accustomed to how things work in the office, I was like, oh, I want to be like these guys. I'm very similar to these guys. And so I attach that to, it being a skill set that I see as truly valuable. Um, and so it makes for, something that I'm just dying to learn about and dying to get into, and be truly like one of the best in the world at. Like that's my goal. And then so you have the academic and professional side, the personal side of my life. And then here comes the business and trading and all the pro social stuff I want to do with this. That's a whole separate thing, because I don't look at oral surgery. My oral surgeon mentors, they make, one makes 3.5 million a year, the other makes 7 million a year. He has two offices. They do very, very well just in what they do. But
Mm.
when I'm approaching this, I don't look at the oral surgery for the money and the finances. I look at what I'm doing now as the start, yeah, of what I want to do financially and with my financial goals, and the diversification I want to have in my finances. The career and my income from my career, that'll just be another piece of my diversified portfolio. Um, but I want to have the finances and the wherewithal and the economy and the micro and the macro understood before I even get to my career. I want to have all that taken care of already. So those are kind of like the three, I guess, pillars, of my life. I kind of sort everything that I do through, you know, trading, finances, my portfolio, obviously my personal life, my friends, my family, me making sure I'm healthy, making sure I'm taking care of myself, and then the academic and professional side of things. And I work really hard just to kind of wrap everything into one kind of unified entity, which is me, my life. Um, so yeah, man, I'm super excited, super excited. I'm somebody that I look at what my parents have done. My mom, she's been a NICU nurse for, I think she's been a NICU nurse for 22 years. My pops
Um,
is 3 years away from retiring in the Arizona public education system. He's now almost done with his doctorate study program. For it's like K through 12 education. So, but he'll get his doctorate certificate, his PhD in that. And growing up, my parents are divorced now, but when we were together, my parents worked their butt off, our entire life, going to work every single day. My dad was our principal up until I was in sixth grade. He was our principal, and early on in our lives, my mom, she worked nights, so like she wouldn't be up during the day and she'd work all night.
yep.
So my parents, they've done so much to put me in a position to do big things and do the things that I'm doing now. So really, that's what's one thing it kind of comes down to is, a path has been paved for me. Um, and I recognize that, and I want to take full advantage of the opportunities I have because I yeah, my parents worked their butt off and to provide a good middle class life for us. Um, some kids have it better, some kids have it a lot better, but most kids don't have it that good. Most kids have it worse. So I look at that and I'm like, I'd be a damn fool if I didn't do everything I could with the opportunity I had. I
Love
have.
that.
Um, yeah. So that fundamental concept just keeps me turning, man. Especially, seeing my dad kind of move into his PhD studies, seeing my mom kind of branch off her thing, do a little bit of travel nursing, doing continued education. Just seeing them do that is just super, super inspiring to me. Um, yeah, couldn't be more grateful for them and the impact they've had. And they worked their ass off to provide better than what they had. And so now I want to work my ass off to have better than what I had. So
Mhm.
that's a goal. That's a goal. But yeah, super excited.
Can can I ask you a question, Q?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, it's it might be a bit, man. Honestly, everything you said, I love it. I love it because you just have such intrinsic connection to your family,
Hmm.
and and you've utilized that to bolster and grow yourself.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't, right? A lot of people
Hmm.
don't. They just no, it's for no particular reason. There's no fault there. It's just that they don't, because they don't know what they don't know.
Hmm.
Simple as that, right? And
Hmm.
so and I've uh, I don't want to ask a question like you think that there's stuff that I know that you don't know because it's not the truth. I
Hmm.
don't. It's just I ask this in all um, in a genuine
Oh yeah.
a genuine perspective
Hmm.
for reflection.
Hmm.
Okay, and I've asked this question to a majority of people. And to be quite honest, most of them are university students that are like, you know, 20 years old,
Hmm.
young, 19 to 22 or something like that. But, and I asked myself this question when it came across to me, and it kind of changed the way I thought about stuff for a good reason. So, not everyone resonates with it. So, this isn't trying to put in a not disclaimer, but I'm trying to just put a
Hmm.
perspective around it.
Nah, you're
Not
good. You're
everyone
good.
not everyone resonates around it,
Uh-huh.
and you can't answer the question now,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You can attempt to answer it,
Mhm.
but
I
there's a
can. Someone
really
write it
good
down. Uh-huh.
there's a really good chance that you're going to later on reevaluate the question. And I would actually recommend that you do this. Um, and I recommend you do this when you're lying in bed by yourself with quiet around you and your heartbeat at rest. Okay. So, pardon me. But it took me a while to actually suck in what it actually what the meaning around it was. And it's a really simple question. It's no big deal. And you probably have heard the question, probably heard variation of it. But what I'm trying to impact upon you is that it's really worthwhile embracing what you hear and then think about it and take time to let it sink in and then make your decisions after that. So it's the magic wand question. You know, have a magic wand.
Mhm.
Zap.
Mhm.
And without being too corny, it sounds corny, but it's the only way to put it.
Mhm.
If you had all, if you did not have to work to earn money and pay bills
Mhm.
every single day, let's say you had all the money in the world and all the time to use it, you could build cities under the ocean. You could put hospitals in every country in the world. You have a house in every place you want to be. You have a plane on every airstrip in the world. And you have a boat in every port. So there's nothing you need to do. You have everything at your disposal. You can build hospitals anywhere you want globally. You have everything at your disposal. You don't have to work to earn money to pay bills. What is it you would do?
Yeah, but I'm just writing this down because I want to put some
Yeah,
more
yeah.
thought into it. It's a very interesting
Only,
question. It's a very
only
interesting
things,
question.
if you can give me some enlightenment around it now, where you are. And the reason I ask this is because I've done only 10 years of personal development,
Mhm.
right? But during those years, you realize that, geez, what we actually think we want to do is not what we want to do. Um, you know what I mean? Um, and what life is not what we think life is. That's for me because of the development I've done. But I throw this at you, right? Um, with you have clearly have a passion for the for the what not dentistry but also hygienics, right? And looking
Mhm.
after people because it
Mhm.
is a longevity thing that everyone needs 100%, and it is a valuable profession, right? We're not talking about something that is not as valuable. It is very
Mhm.
valuable and will always be valuable. And
Mhm.
you have an affinity towards it. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. What I'm trying to say is that if you threw all that away and you didn't have to do any of that, you're sitting right here, right now, and you could literally do anything you want. You could literally go to, I mean, all your family and friends are looked after, right? So
Mhm.
that lower level stuff done,
Mhm. Taken care of.
right? Cars are taken care of, money's taken care of, banks are taken care of, credits are taken care of, food's taken care of, clothes are taken care of. I'm talking about You have the opportunity to do anything you want in this world. Anything. Absolutely anything. Create world peace. Anything. What would you do? You.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and it's
Don't limit
I'm
yourself.
I'm
Is
I'm I'm gonna yeah, so I'm gonna do a lot of thinking about this over the weekend, but sitting here right now, uh,
what's the
there's
first thing
there's
comes to
there's
mind?
skill set acquirement, skill set attaining particular skill sets, um,
For what?
because I would want to, with all my planes, all my ocean accessibility, all my travel ability, that doesn't guarantee me having a particular skill set, have particular worth to other people outside of the money. Obviously, like you have all the money in the world, all the resources, you can do pretty much anything and
Come on,
pay
come
and
on.
pay for and pay for
You can
pay
get
for a
bigger than
kid
that.
to yeah,
You can
yeah,
get big.
but yeah,
You
but
don't, you don't need skill sets. You don't need skill sets to make things happen. You
yeah.
can be bigger than that, mate. If you're
Hmm.
thinking about things for you, you
Hmm.
can do anything in the whole fucking world, mate.
Hmm.
Anything. You can build a hospital in the desert.
Hmm.
You can actually create um, aquifers in places that they don't have water and provide
Hmm.
food to third world countries.
Yeah.
Don't think about
Yeah.
don't think about your skill set.
Yeah.
So
All
I'm
right.
trying
Yeah.
to say is
So yeah.
break free of the what is it? You have everything at your disposal.
Hmm.
Everything.
Hmm.
You have all the money in the world. You have all the time in the
Hmm.
whole world.
Hmm.
You could do absolutely freaking anything.
Hmm.
Anything.
All
What
right.
would you do?
So I'll move on to the bigger thing. I think I would invest, obviously not invest as I mean, I would get into the the planet and Earth and project say 100, 200,000 year arc for humanity, and establish either life on a different planet, to expand civilization outside of Earth,
You not
and
like this one?
or it was so and or um hopefully and figure out a way to have the energy systems and the just the systems on Earth to be completely renewable and completely regenerative in a way where there's no barren place on planet Earth. Yeah, there's different climates and everything, but we'll establish a system where everything is renewable and everything is um, regenerative in every single corner of the world. Um, and I'd love
So
to have a
essentially, you're saying that you're going to get together a whole group of scientists from
uh-huh.
around the world to develop a way that they can actually make energy on this planet renewable and non-destructive,
Mhm.
so it is free to everyone.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, right.
Essentially, yes, 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 yes. And when I look to the future and the digital age that we're inevitably going to is going to require a frick ton of energy. Um, just the technological age that we're in now. And I feel like we're still really young in the technological age. It's going to require a lot of energy. And a lot of changes have been made over the last, decade or so. But still, it's renewable energy that is at the expense of something else. A lot of our renewable energy that we have now, like our electric cars, it's at the expense of the cobalt industry, where you have little kids mining cobalt in Africa day after day after day after day, to put these batteries together. Um, so I'd figure out a chemical way, a
Like,
scientific way to do that.
car batteries have been around since the 1940s, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not
Yeah.
the
So
size, the size and the amount of just things in them, if that makes sense. Um, and all
that's
the
that's
okay, so
that's the
I
thing.
might even go ahead, go ahead.
That's what we've been worked on for industry. It's a bit
Mhm.
like it's a bit like the uh have you heard of that? You know about the light bulb conspiracy?
The light bulb conspiracy.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with somebody else potentially inventing the light bulb and not Edison? No. Okay.
No,
Enlighten me.
no. Worthwhile looking it up.
Mhm.
Right. So it's all about planned obsolescence.
Mhm.
Not too sure. So why I'm bringing this up is because it comes a lot down to the way that we think about things now.
Uh-huh.
Um, Planned obsolescence comes from, and you can actually look at this. So it's a documentary. It's out there. You can see it. It's called the Light Bulb Conspiracy. So essentially, in the when was it? 1900s. Um, so the light
Mhm.
bulb was invented, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was all created with the filament
Uh-huh.
and everything. It went through a whole lot of things and went to the filament. And then Philips and Osram,
Mhm.
which are two of the biggest cartels
Mhm.
of of light bulbs or electricity um, products. What they did was they came together and they realized that what was created was always going to work. And
Uh-huh.
to this day, once again, something you can Google, the light bulb that was invented and built then is still burning today in a museum.
Mm. Mm.
Still
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So what they did was the cartels got together. They said, well, this is no good for business.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do is we need to create a light bulb that'll only
Mhm.
last 1,500 hours.
Mhm.
So they spent 2 years designing a light bulb
Mhm.
that would only last 1,500 hours. And then once they created the light bulb that lasts 1,500 hours, they marketed it. So then people had to keep purchasing a light bulb once it burnt out. Now, the reason this is important is because after the war, so the 1950s, late 40s, early 50s, what America did was, and you know, more power to them for doing it, is they said, well, okay, we need to industrialize. We need to create jobs. Right? People are coming back from the war. There's no work. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, but there's no industry. It's the 1950s for a lot of God. 1940s. There's
Mhm.
nothing happening. We got ideas and stuff, but we don't have manufacturing. We had manufacturing for the war because we were
Mhm.
building planes and we were
Right.
building stuff, right? And after that, we have nothing, and all these people are coming back. So what they did was they said, okay, they went to all the companies, the bigger companies. There's
Mhm.
Burns Phillip and geez, all the big companies, the vacuum cleaners, the computers, the ovens, the housing, everything, right? All of that stuff.
Mhm.
And they said, okay, so what we're going to do with all the white goods, with the ovens um, pardon me, the ovens, the washing machines, the dryers, and everything else,
Mhm.
we're going to put in a planned obsolescence into those machines.
Mhm.
And that way, what happens is at a certain point, we actually have to continue producing those so we can keep employing people.
Mhm.
It's a great idea. It was a great idea. It was brilliant, right? It was brilliant. It
Mhm.
was a perfect thing to create a ongoing economic viability, right? Nothing wrong with the idea.
Mhm.
Fantastic idea. And so that's what they did. They put in planned obsolescence with
Mhm.
all the items.
Mhm.
The only thing is that as we went through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, we get to the 80s when we start having like really good electronic ideas and diversification
Mhm.
and you know different ideas that are actually going to break through because we
Yeah.
had electronically brilliant explosions of
Mhm.
ideas and development, right? So come the 70s and 80s, we didn't need the planned obsolescence anymore.
Mhm.
Yet by that time, 20, 30 years later, no one knew about
It
it,
was yeah. Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
today, even today, we have printers
Mhm.
that stop working after a certain amount
Mhm.
of prints. We
Mhm.
have televisions, computers, phones, Apple's
Mhm.
classic example of that, and a
Mhm.
range of different things just stop working because of planned obsolescence.
Mhm.
It's actually built in to the
Mhm.
point where there was a Russian guy that said my printer doesn't work anymore, and and he went back to the company and they said, well, it doesn't work. You have to throw it away. And he said, no, this guy actually worked for a bigger company. So
Mhm.
he delved deeper into it and actually found a code because a code that all he had to do was input
Wow.
this code into the computer.
Mhm.
Sorry, input this code into the printer and
Mhm.
it started working again.
Wow.
Right? So he released that
Mhm.
on the internet and people were going, what the fuck? So,
Mhm.
people are throwing away things because they think they're broken, but they're not.
Mhm.
They're planned obsolescence. And
Yeah.
that's why we have fridges, microwaves, um,
Mhm.
dishwashers, everything that only works to a certain point, because the idea is that you throw it away, then you buy the next one because it's part of the manufacturing process
Yeah.
to build things up, which makes perfect sense after the war because they wanted to increase the productivity of the country, right? But we
Yeah.
don't need it now, yet it is still here. Every single thing that we own has a planned obsolescence in it. Every
Mhm.
light bulb in our
Mhm.
house
Mhm.
has a time put on it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, so just trying to get back to what you're saying, it's like so what I'm trying to get at is that, there's there's more to what we think is,
Mhm.
um, that, what you think, and what we think is a parameter that we're going to get to or going to whatever. There's more
Mhm.
to it than that. There's a range of things that comes up to it, and there are reasons
Mhm.
behind that do that, which is why
Yeah.
well, us three and others, have to really think outside the square about stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Really have to
Mhm.
think outside the square. I
Mhm.
love the fact, you have a passion for what you do.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of people that do, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
so when I ask the question, what are you going to do if you have all the money in the world and all the
Mhm.
time in the world? Don't think small.
Mhm.
Don't think about what we've been taught and what we think, the planned obsolescence. Don't
Mhm.
think about the box. Break free of that and do this when you're lying in bed with your heart beating nice and even, and
Mhm.
go and relax and just release absolutely everything you have, all the stresses, all the constraints that you have, that you think that you have, and go, "Oh, Jesus, I could actually do anything I want. Like anything. I could I could change the suburb I'm in. I could change the district I'm in, the state, the country. In fact, I could change any country. I could create peace anywhere. How would I do that? Maybe I would do this.
Mhm.
So the idea is that you want to release the constraints of our
Mhm.
learned behavior. The
Mhm.
learned behavior keeps us small,
Mhm.
and we don't want to play small, Q.
Mhm. Right. Right. Right.
We teach our kids to play big.
Yeah.
Playing small gets no one anywhere.
Yeah.
Got to play big.
Yeah.
So that's my point about that. Is like with the planned obsolescence, is because they put this box, right?
Mhm.
We didn't know about it unless you're told about it, right?
Right.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that when you think about this question, all the money in the world, all the time, cities under the ocean, a hospital anywhere you want,
Mhm.
plane on every airstrip, boat in every port, a house anywhere you want to be.
Mhm.
There's no constraints. What is it that you would do?
Mhm.
I'd be really interested to hear what you do.
Yeah, we'll that'll be a hot topic number one come Tuesday come Tuesday. I like to do. I've gotten a little bit more into just doing meditation and not anything crazy, but just lying there, sitting still, and
That's
I'll have
meditation. That's
exercises.
meditation.
Yeah, I'll have exercise where I can like picture. This is gonna sound very not weird, but I don't know how it's gonna be perceived, but I picture myself as like a little dot, a little, let's call it a little ant, a little microbe in my head.
Beautiful.
And when I'm sitting there lying down, I just kind of like travel down like through all these different paths, like literally everything in my brain. Like I just lay there and kind of either think about a problem, if I'm vexed about something, kind of work through why I'm vexed or why I have a particular emotion. But I'll just kind of work through these things. But this is gonna be my exercise over the weekend. I'm gonna put some careful thought and attention to this. It's a very, very interesting question. And I haven't heard this concept with the term before, planned obsolescence. And it's so funny because I was literally talking to somebody Tuesday night about cars. He's a mechanic, and he just had to shut down like his shop or something. He was kind of down and out. So I was just having a conversation with him. Really, really nice guy. His name is Albert. But we were laughing, making jokes, but kind of in a serious note, and as far as just the car industry and how these cars they're designed to, after 3 years, something's going to happen to where you have to get work done on them. You have to bring them back to the manufacturer and send them some money. And then, a couple years after that, you're like, new models out. I might as well get a new car because my car isn't working anymore. We're like, damn, this is a 60,000, depending on the car. Let's call it this is a $40,000 machine, and you're telling me this thing's gonna break down and not work and have all these issues 3 years later. That's crazy. It's crazy. Like
It's mad.
it's so mad. It's so astronomically asinine that they get away with it. That it
Yes.
that people were just
and
like,
they
oh,
should.
this is so crazy. Like, there's no way that this is, yeah. But yeah, no, that's
They
crazy. But
shouldn't get away with it.
I really want to look into this concept more, this planned obsolescence and how it really came about. It's very, very fascinating.
I'd be keen to get your feedback on it. So,
Yeah,
just to see what you think. It's
yeah, yeah.
honestly, it's a question that asked many, many, many people.
Hmm.
Um, but you know, mostly younger than you and not as supposed to advanced in
Hmm.
their thinking and education.
Hmm.
Most people that I mean, like the perfect example is that I spoke to someone that was a young kid at university,
Hmm.
and he was doing engineering, right? And
Hmm.
this is actually a really really good example of why I think it's important to ask the question. Uh, is that so? I said, "Hey mate, so what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, engineering." I said, "Cool." And I was
Hmm.
doing Uber at the time, driving in. I
Hmm.
said, "Cool.
Hmm.
So how long have you been doing that?" He said, "Oh, I've been doing it for about a year and a half, 2 years." I said, "How long you got to go?" It's got about another 2.5 years to finish my degree. I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "So what's your plan? What are you going to do with it? Once you get your degree?" He said, "I'm going to work in the mines." I went, "Okay, cool." I thought, "Okay, going to work in the mines," and I said, "Well," and I didn't question it because I mean everyone has their own desires and what they want to do and reasons why they do
Hmm.
it. And I
Hmm.
said, "Okay, so work in the mines," and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't voice it. I'm thinking to myself, "Geez, are the mines going to be there in 2.5 years, and will they need an engineer?"
Hmm.
I mean, the way that
Hmm.
AI is going, and the way that
Right.
computers are going, I mean,
Hmm.
are they going to? But I didn't say it. It's okay, cool. So I threw the question at him. I threw that magic wand question at him, and I said,
Hmm.
"Okay, cool, mate." So I said, actually, before I did that, I said, "So, why did you get into engineering? What was the thing that drove you to to do that course at the university?" He said,
Hmm.
"Oh well, my mum's an architect and my dad's in construction." I went, "Okay, cool."
Hmm.
And 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 to be quite honest, every person I've asked them, geez, I don't know, 100 people,
Hmm.
generally, and this makes sense. Um, a child will move generally, all right? So this isn't specific; it's a very general statement. Will move
Uh-huh.
into an area that their parents are in, or because of they understand the environment that they're growing up in.
Hmm.
So if you're growing up in an architect and constructional environment, then the kids can understand that. So they will have
Hmm.
an affinity towards that.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? If they're
Yes.
artists,
Yes.
then they will have an affinity towards that. Um,
Yes.
that's just how it works, right? It doesn't happen in all cases. Doesn't happen in my case because I make sure they don't do what I do. I want them. I want them to do what they do. Right?
Uh-huh.
I want them to
Uh-huh.
learn how to make money with Bloom, so they can do
Yeah,
whatever
there
the
you
fuck,
go. There you
so they
go.
can do
There
whatever
you
they want in
go.
their life. Make money this way, and you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yes, I like the sound of that. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, it works, right? So when I drilled down to this bloke, and I said, and I threw in the magic wand question. I said, "Okay, so fella, just bear with me." I said, like, so I get what you're doing and why you're doing it, and more power to you. It's a
Hmm.
passion of yours. But if you had all the money in the world and all the time to use it, and you didn't have to work to earn money to pay bills, what the hell would you do? And he went, "Oh, and he shut up, kept driving. Now, 5 minutes later, he said, "You know what?" I said, "What?" He said, "Do you know the question you asked me?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I've been thinking about it." And he said, "You know what I'd do?" I said, "What would you do?"
Mhm.
And he said, "I would actually create shelters for stray animals because I really want to help
Mhm.
dogs."
Mhm.
And I looked at him sideways and gone, I didn't say it. I didn't
Mhm.
because it's not my place. I just think
Mhm.
in my head, I'm going, you want to help, you want to help things at a very base level
Mhm.
in a local area,
Mhm.
and you have a passion for animals. What the fuck are you doing in engineering?
Yeah.
I didn't say it, right? I went, oh, okay, awesome. That's a really, really good passion, buddy. But the point is, and this is the real point, right? Is that we are from prep year one, year two. What are we? What 3 years old? 4 year, 5 years old,
Yeah.
all the way through to year 12. We are given the skills to earn money, to get a job, to pay bills. We're not taught to find our passion, to do what our heart says. We're not taught how to turn $1 into $1 million so we can help other people. We're taught the skills to earn money, to pay bills, to get a job. And this is the thing. So everyone that I speak to, and I'm not being a person that is left of center. I'm talking realistic. I've spoken
Mhm.
to hundreds of kids that are in university, even adults that are working in professions, and they don't want to be there. They're only there because they need to earn money to pay
Mhm.
bills.
Yeah.
They're not doing
Simply.
it passion.
Mhm.
All right. This is why it's so important to ask the question. Take
Mhm.
that shit away. Take all the pressures of having to earn money to get a job to pay bills. Take that
Mhm.
away, and then what would you do? And you know what? If you find out what that is, and you do that,
Mhm.
the money will come to you anyway.
Yeah.
For me, it's taken me a good 30 years,
Mhm.
but for me, it's helping people.
Mhm.
When I help people, I get paid.
Mhm.
Money comes to me when I help people.
Mhm.
And you know what? That is not a job description. When I look
Mhm.
back on everything that I've done since my teenage years all the way through to now,
Mhm.
the skill set that I have is the same skill set in all the different industries that I worked in. And
Mhm.
the skill set is helping people do better at what they do
Mhm.
in every industry, in teaching music, in working in cafes, in working in business, in working in multiple, national $1 million um,
Mhm.
franchises, through to anything. It's the same skill set. Through to gym, it's the same skill set. It's helping people achieve their goals. For me,
Mhm.
for others, it's different, but it's finding the underlying skill set. And most people don't understand that. All we know is the learned behavior of what we've been taught, what we must do,
Mhm.
and that is we must learn the skills, get a job, to earn money, to pay bills. This is why I love you guys so much, because you teach us how to take the money away. You teach us how to make money with Bloom so we can do whatever the hell we want. It's insane.
Mhm.
You guys, honestly, for me, are like you're the gold. You guys are the gold.
Mhm.
Honestly, I wish I discovered you so long ago.
Yeah, I might have been in diapers. Might have been in diapers. But no, I hear you. I appreciate you, and yeah, I think we're aligned in the sense that we see this as a means to gain our freedom in the sense that we'll have the money to do essentially whatever we want, yeah, at some point. Um, and yeah, yeah, the stuff's starting to really flood to me, as as I hear you talk and as I think about this more and more and more and more. Um, because I how I kind of sort, my finances and my career, I sort it kind of within the constructs of this question in a sense that no, I don't. Um, what am I trying to say here? I don't have all the money in the world. I wish I had the magic wand. I wish I did. Man, I wish I did. Jesus Christ. I wish I did just for a day. I'd
Give
love
it to
nothing more.
yourself. Give it to yourself.
Right, right,
Give
right,
it to
right.
yourself.
And that magic wand is attainable. Having the financial backing is attainable, but I don't see that being attainable by any type of any career, like any like surgery. We can add, being a lawyer, being in, I guess, investment banking kind of, transitions over to the finance side a little bit. But any like high professional skill set, where you're earning, that's not going to be enough to give you the magic wand by any means. And I don't look at it like the magic wand. I look at that because I want to help people live healthier lives through my 7 pillars of optimal human health and performance. That's my
What's your
I
magic number? Okay, what's your magic number?
dollars and cents wise.
Yes.
I want to have
What is the dollars and cents that
uh-huh,
would make you comfortable with you and your family ongoing?
500 million.
Put a number on it. Put a number on it. Doesn't matter what it
500
is.
million.
Just put a number.
I'll go
Say again.
500 million to a billion.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I've got to applaud that because most people, and I to tell you, most people will go, oh, you know, $500,000 a year would be great, you know.
Mhm.
And what I'd say, can you put a zero on that? And you've got 500 million. You are rocking it already. Love it.
Mhm.
I'm sorry to digress. I've got my. Do you need me? No, just talk to me, Helen. No, I can't. Just talk to me. They can. Huh? Sorry, just a moment,
No,
buddy.
you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
they're muted.
Let's see. I haven't even checked the YouTube stream. Let me see here. Mr. Jason alive. Beautiful. Money. Money. So as approaching 7 o'clock, you all right. I got you. I still got you on mute, Jason. Let me see if I can unmute you. I
Sorry,
can ask him.
sorry,
Oh, there you go.
sorry. I just had no one here talking to me, and I just
Uh,
had to ask a question. You want me on talking so you couldn't hear? Not that you could hear, but it's a teenager thing. Can I speak
Yeah.
quietly, please?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry,
No, no,
but
no,
I'm not
you're
sure
all
what I
good.
missed. Not sure what
You're
I
all
missed.
good. No, no, didn't miss anything. I was just gonna kind of establish where we are in the live call. 7 o'clock. So through the midst
Oh yeah.
of our through the midst of our conversation today, Jason, I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful conversation, which we'll continue through the back to these last 25, 30 minutes. But I just wanted to look at this position that I took this morning through the midst
Oh,
of the chaos this morning. Um, Let me
the
see this
JPY.
position here. Gold, actually.
Yes, me
Gold,
too.
actually.
I've been on gold all day actually,
There
and
you go.
done particularly.
There you go. There you go. What was my entry? My entry was 2580.5. 2580.5. Yeah, right when we got into this area right here. Oh wait, hold on. I just want to make sure I get this right. Entry price 2080.5. 2080.5.
I
Yeah,
had
this is
about
my entry point
45.
here. hmm Yeah, sounds about right. The movement has been just really, really clean and uninterrupted by any sort of macro
Correct.
craziness.
It's
But yeah,
been
see, I think
it is.
I did one play and grabbed a little over 100 pips on this play.
Oh, lovely.
Utilize utilizing our indicators, utilizing our main plays, our lagging line below the cloud,
They
angle
work so
downwards
well.
of our cloud. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I was really, really patient through this. So you see, I took my exit all the way back here when that wick came down. So it's probably so I probably exited at 650 and I got in at little after, yeah, pretty much right after I got on, right about 5:35. So a little over an hour in this trade here. Really like my patience through this. Um, and not and I want to frame the patience in a particular way. I'm patient
Oh, nice.
because I know the level that I'm looking to get to, and I know the level at which I will accept when the market is turned against me. So like knowing those two levels, there's no reason for us not to feel cool, calm, and comfortable in any given position. And of course, I want to win as much as possible. Um, but this is a game much like baseball in a sense. No, I don't want to go. I know I don't want to bat 300, even though that's if you bat 300 for your entire baseball career, you will be a Hall of Famer. But if I can bat about 75% day after day after day and avoid the big losses on that other 25% where I
But
don't hit the ball,
correct
where
me
I
if
don't
I'm
knock it out the
wrong.
park. hmm
Correct me if I'm wrong. That most batters
hmm
will hit 3% and miss 97% if you
Yes,
work out their averages. So
yes,
it's not about the hits, it's about the misses, right?
yeah, yes.
It's about being in there for it, and that's the thing, right? So
hmm
uh, people think that you're batting, um, you know, three out of four, but you're not.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You're actually batting 3% out of your 100, and
Uh-huh.
that's how it works, right? Just
Uh-huh.
looking at what
Uh-huh.
you did, right?
Uh-huh.
In that respect, there, it took out that price inefficiency between what
hmm
is it?
Yes,
Three
sir. Yes,
two
sir.
five seven 2573 to 2571, right? And it took that out, right?
Yeah.
That
And what time frame are you
inefficiency.
looking at that on?
You blown that. Well done. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Great work.
Yes, sir.
Really good work.
Beautiful. Really, really nice play there. Really nice play. And yeah, and I believe this is the inefficiency you're talking about here. This five
Your
minute
your
inefficiency.
your education on the price inefficiencies has changed my game. Totally changed my game.
Oh, I
Honestly,
wouldn't doubt it because it changed my game. It changed my game. God damn it. It's
it's incredible. It's
yeah,
absolutely incredible.
yeah, when just being able to sort and being able to understand what the market's doing and know that it's only hunting for two things at any given time through all this craziness, all these bars, all these colors. Here speaking of a complete novice, looking at a chart for the first time. All
Yep.
all we have to understand is the market is looking for two things at any given time. It's looking for liquidity or to balance
Yep.
itself out, to balance out its inefficiencies. That's it. Point blank, period. And then we add a third onto there and we say it accumulates or it consolidates for safety. So and you just
They're the
look
big players.
at
They're the big
yeah, you
players.
just yeah, yes.
Well,
So if there's only three things for us to understand at any given time. That's not a lot of things. And those three things are pretty easy to recognize. The consolidation when price is moving, when it has no clear direction. And then when it is moving, just see if that move was a push for liquidity, a push to super liquidity, or if it was balancing out inefficiencies. Maybe it was just a
yeah.
little bit of
Be
both
patient.
during a
Be
movement.
patient, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
guys say, yeah, just be patient and wait for it
Yes.
to move. Don't get in
Yes.
because you missed the dot and you go, oh no, hang on, it's moving up. I'll get in now. It's like,
Mhm.
no, no, no. Just
Mhm.
wait till it comes back and get another dot because the
Mhm.
dots work, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
My,
Yeah.
my pitch is in front of me, right? I've got eight sticky notes. One
Mhm.
says patience. The next one says dot.
Mhm.
Then it says volume. Then it says indicators.
Mhm.
Then the next four are the 5 minute, the 15 minute, then check FinViz and Metath. For me, I
Mhm.
use Metath.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
eight. And like if I get through 4, 5, and 6, it's
Mhm.
like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's
You're
it's
feeling
going
good.
to do what it's going to do what you've told me it's going to do
Mhm.
because the indicators say it is. If the
Mhm.
indicators say no, you don't go to the 5 and 15 minute. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
don't. That's what
Mhm.
honestly the Bloom indicators
Mhm.
um, and everything, the education that you and Marcus on the back end of
Mhm.
educating me around how economy works, which is
Mhm.
still working through my brain, but I love
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
makes a huge difference as to how you look at these charts.
Oh yeah.
Like you just made 100 pips, mate. That's
Mhm.
sensational. Well
Mhm.
done.
Mhm. I
It's
appreciate it.
brilliant.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's man, it still feels it's and I really appreciate you saying that. Like really means the world to us. Man, we still feel so early on, just kind of in our blooming. Honestly, no pun intended there for sure. We still feel so early on, and the steps are being made. I think what we have now, as far as just our systems of execution, and that just adding the macro side of things now, and the understanding of what's really going on, moving our face away from the dot on the wall, and
Yes.
understanding what's going on in the big picture of the economy and price and currency value. So having the backing of that, and then the technical analysis, um, and now us understanding how the market moves, what it's doing at any given time. Is it hunting for liquidity? Is it looking to balance itself out? Is it accumulating? Having that simplified understanding of the innate structure of the market, And then shoot, then we have the indicators. Because originally the indicators were there to keep us safe against anything else. It kept us safe through a lack of knowledge at the beginning stages. Now it's so powerful because we have the technical skills and the fundamental skills highly refined, and highly highly implementable into our daily trading. So I think we've come a long way around, but I think we have a really solid core, as far as how we approach the market and how we execute positions. Um, now it's going to continue to bloom from here for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm going over Marcus's house later today, hang out with him and the baby, get a
Right
little bit
on
of
it.
work done, of course. Uh, yeah, he was up late last night doing some work. So,
Oh, was he?
yeah, we talked on the phone probably for about 30 minutes last night. I got out of training at about 10:30. Talked on the phone a little bit, kind of touch base. Um, yeah, gonna get over to his house tomorrow or today. Yeah, get some business work done, man. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, fella. I've just decided to get in on one. So I'm just
Yeah, talk me through it. What you got here?
splitting my details. Um, we've got a gold cell, and it came
Mm-hmm.
through on both, uh, and it's within my um, consolidation um,
Mm-hmm.
area, which is basically around, what is it? Sorry, it's at like 273, 274 down to 270.9 as a cell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's broken through now. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to get in there. So I'm about, I don't know, what's that, 10 pips. And it's going to push down, I think, for this. Sorry,
Love the
it was
play.
just moving. It was
Yeah, no,
moving now, and
I love the
you
play,
can
and
see it.
I reckon the dollar's gonna gain a little bit of strength here. So you see some buyers
Oh,
money coming in on the dollar. So I love the short position here, especially given where we're at right now in terms of gold.
yep.
Um,
So dollar's growing, right, which is fantastic.
yeah,
This is looking really good, actually. Uh,
yeah.
you go to the 5 minute, and we're talking 5 minutes, the same deal. It's still on the downturn, and the 15 minute still on the downturn. A long way to go yet. 15
Mhm.
minutes. So this could actually be considerable. This could
Definitely.
end up being. Well, I'm up to six, seven,
Oh,
six,
excuse
eight
me.
hundred. So, but we do have. It needs to break through the
Mhm.
the the 257180, which, looking at matter, it's going to, because we've got a resistance on USD
Yes.
at,
I'm seeing the same thing.
yeah,
I'm seeing the
yeah.
same thing.
So
And I would like this. I'm gonna look to scale in here, here in a sec. I like this play a lot.
yeah, let's see how this plays. Oh, well, that's not how we want it to play, but I'm sure it's going to get better than that.
Yeah, no, it'll get back down there. It'll get back down there.
Race. It-
Um,
So I just wanted to get in on that because it was a really good play. I could see it going because I had my the price inefficiency set up there,
mhm.
and
Yes.
yeah, which it came down to um,
Yeah.
a a resistance line, but
Mhm.
stopped and went back up, but it still
Mhm.
needs to fill it.
Yeah.
So it's
And I
it's
have
still
my next area of inefficiency, I have at the top end about 2566.3 down
oh really?
to 2565. I believe I found that one. So what's interesting is there's a really large area of inefficiency right at about 2569 on the 1 hour time frame. So kind of starting there, like on the bearish side of things with respect to where we are, there's so much balancing that has to take place. And so that's kind of almost a double confirmation. And, we have multiple different areas of inefficiency on the bearish side of price on multiple different time frames. So I love the short position here. I really like looking at our daily time, just looking at the MACD, our Bloom 3 on our daily time frame, seeing how price is going to traject downwards,
Yeah.
looking at our
Make
one
deals,
hour
lots of
time
room.
frame. 1 hour time frame should have some sellers volume coming in on the 1 hour time frame. And let me see what this 4 hour looks like. 4 hour still has
Here we go.
potential to gain a lot of strength on the bearish side. So um, I like where we're at. I
Yeah.
really like where we're at.
And even in MATAF, where the USD is looking to step up very
Mhm.
soon,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
gold
Strong level of
has a
resistance at
long
some
way
right
to
there.
go, long
Mhm.
way to go down. Gold has. So here we go.
Yeah.
Look at this. Here we go.
uh,
So I
uh,
just
uh,
we just I'd like it to head. I'd like it to get down to 2570.5 would do.
70.5.
That would do.
Oh yeah, we should get there in the next 5 minutes, I reckon. It's dollar respective that level of resistance there.
Yeah.
Let's see that back. Let's see buyers step in there. I'm running to the restroom real quick, Jason. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go ahead. Go ahead. We can wait for this. It's going to
Yes,
happen.
sir. Okay. It wanted to turn bullish on us a little bit. Let's see, get back down here. This is one of those positions. I'm still plugged in. You hear me, Jason?
Yep, gotcha, buddy.
Heard you.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is one of these positions I just feel very confident about just because of the macro and the higher time
Mm,
frame confirmation.
yep. The
Um,
the hour's still moving down, right?
yeah, hours still moving down, and then our dailies still like just the relativity on our daily time frame is going to have to come down. It's going to, um, of course, we say anything can happen in this market, but it's a game of probabilities at the end of the day.
Yep.
We have unemployment claims at 8:30 this morning,
Ooh,
8:30 PST, Pacific Standard Time,
which
which would
is
be, oh wait,
shit. That's very soon.
no, 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 no. Unemployment claims already came. I'm
8 minutes.
tripping.
No, we have
What do we have?
we have news in 7 minutes, and then
Yeah,
climate claims later
yeah,
in about.
yeah. What the heck? What the heck am I looking at? I wonder if
Ooh,
I was looking at a different week. Yeah, so unemployment claims came out earlier today.
yes, they did
Yeah, came out earlier today and came out significantly
about 2 hours ago.
bullish,
Yeah.
significantly bullish, as well as did the Philly Fed manufacturing index. Um, Current account existing home sales
Thinking
really slightly bearish, less CB leading index bullish. I think from our macros are definitely leaning more towards the bullish side of things. Just looking at these unemployment claims, this is the big thing right now. This is the
bullish
big
for
thing,
the
right? This is the
bullish for the dollar is what you're saying. Bullish for the dollar.
correct bullish for the dollar, meaning bearish for XAU USD.
Happy
Like I
days.
said, we have the macro backing right now in a short position.
Mm,
And this unemployment claim is so huge because this is the Fed's main concern right now. The
mm,
labor market,
yeah.
unemployment, what's going on with unemployment. And so seeing promising data from the labor market will, I believe, will have a very significant impact, maybe more significant than it has in the past, in terms of when we get unemployment claims released to us. Um, I fully anticipate some sort of correction to happen right here, possibly. But like I said, this is one of those positions where I feel confident just because of the macro, and then our higher time frames are supporting the macro. So we'll see how we do.
Tend to agree. Tend to agree. And the way that it's moving now, I think it's just pardon me, the buyers getting in.
Yeah, but yeah, yes, 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 yes. But buyers stepping in here a little bit.
Mm,
You look at the last hour or so. We've been kind of ebbing and flowing a little bit, just a little bit. Big move, and then we'll do a correction, and then an even bigger move down, a little bit of correction, a little bit further down. Just finding its balance, as it's moving through. But the last three highs have been lower than the previous high,
yep,
and
correct.
each low has been lower than the previous low. So I really like where we're sitting at. I'm with you in this position. My entry point is 2474, 2474 .46.
Okay.
Um
I'm at 2572.9.
2572.9. 2572.9.
It's really climbing, and it should.
Yes.
It's waiting. They're anticipating
Mhm.
the drop, right?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And that's kind of the psychological side behind
Yeah,
all this, which is really interesting.
because
How
that's
buyers and
exactly what's going
sellers
to
will step
happen.
in.
Okay, so we've hit our support for gold, and if you can break through in 3 minutes USD, in 3 minutes that'll make, yeah, here we go. So if USD breaks through, which it will in 3 minutes time, it only has a it only has pretty much one more support to get through,
Mhm.
and then it's free to run.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting to see how that works.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. Ooh, and gold is moving up too. Um, oh, we could have a good run. Well, it's actually, in fact, looking at it, technically, it should actually run down to that 2570.5,
Yes. Yes.
because
Yes.
even,
And that's even within range of, that low that was created at 650.
yes,
So that you're 2570.5. That's shoot. I reckon we'll get there in the next half hour.
oh, I reckon it's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, mate,
Yeah.
to be
This
honest.
puppy's moving quick today. I'll tell you what, moving quick.
Because it's a liquidity, it's the area of liquidity that they've got that they have to fill.
Hmm.
It's got to be filled.
Hmm. Gotta be.
So it might not fill straight away. It might go down to the 2571 8.87 and then bounce back up. But it'll still
Hmm.
have that other 4 or 5 pips to fill at some point.
Hmm. Yes.
And we're looking that gold is moving up in a minute. It will happen. And will that work from USD? That's the question. Yeah, it's just going to push past that for USD because it don't keep going up, please, because you're going to take out all my profit for the day. And I don't want
Yeah,
that to
right.
happen.
Right. Never want that. Never want that. I'm doing just a little bit of scouting on the bear side of things, looking for these areas of inefficient price on a couple of different time frames. Man,
Um,
right at 25, right at 2570. Ooh, just under 2570.
yeah,
I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, large area of inefficiency
yes.
that is going to have to get filled
That's at
today.
2569.681. I've got an hour. That's our
Yes,
our
there you
DMZ.
go.
And then there's a
Exactly.
2570.550 at a 2 hour DMZ. Um, oh, you're dead set right. That's exactly where they are. And that's where my take profit is. But
Hmm.
I also have a resistance at 2571.87. So it may sit there before it moves
Hmm.
down.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
still going up, man. What the hell? How is that working? Dollar's going down, gold's going up. Why is USD going up? Why is gold going up?
Yeah, just touching a resistance point here that
Okay.
has touched twice in the last hour and some change. What's that, six? Yeah, that's an hour and a half. Let's see, let's see. I'd like to see it respect this level here. It's an analogous support resistance level amongst our dollar and our gold pair. Uh,
Even the MACD, it is higher than the 1.0. It's well above its average. So it has to turn
yeah,
around. It can't go
yeah,
down.
and I almost like that, Jason. I almost like that. Um,
Yeah, we got news. What's going on?
though you don't ever love to be in any sort of drawdown, but just kind of
No.
seeing the market, kind of having buyers step in now for a nice fluffy push, working off unemployment claims, working off that bullish news we got this morning,
Yes.
um, to and end up carrying us back through that area of inefficient price. If there's one thing I've recognized with gold over the last couple months, is it's been very, very keen in particular to balancing itself out quickly. You look at just our daily time frame and you look at how choppy it is. You look at our 1 hour, excuse me, how choppy it is there at the top of this area. That choppiness is just the market balancing itself out over and over again. And it looks so choppy is because it's doing it really, really quickly.
Mm.
So this area of inefficiency laying here just below 2570, that point is going to be swept up at the very latest by the end of New York session.
Gotta be.
Um, but hopefully, ideally, sooner than later.
Um, yeah, the only issue I got is that you do this, I do this often, is that
Mhm,
you get in and it's worked its way up.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I thought, mind you, it was alone news. I'm just going to have to wait it out, I guess. It just, it's
Yeah.
strange because I'm looking at my Metaf
Uh-huh.
and it's showing that USD's trending down, gold
Mhm,
trending up, but USD, gold USD is going up. And that's contrary to what it usually does.
Well, so
It's strange.
let's work through this. Let me see.
I don't understand why that is happening. That's really unusual. That's
And so walk me through because you brought this up the other day. I want to make sure we kind of work through this here. So
okay.
we got our DXY moving downwards. We got our US dollar moving downwards.
Yep.
And then we have our XAU USD pair moving upwards.
Well, in Mataf, I suppose
Uh-huh.
I suppose technically it is XAU USD. Pardon me, in the 5 minutes. So I look at Metaf in 5 minutes,
Mhm.
right? Um, so and I utilize Metaf to gauge how long I can stay in a trade.
Mhm.
Um, and that assists me as to whether I either get in a trade and when I get out of the trade,
Mhm.
or whether it's a good proposition for a trade. Um, and it's always been until this point that if you have like when you guys look at DXY and
Mhm.
look DXY and XAU USD,
Mhm.
it you look for contrary positions, and for some reason I'm looking at USD going down and gold is going up. I don't understand why that is. That's a conundrum. That's a conundrum.
Yeah, I have Meta put up in front of me. I'm trying to get to just get XAU in front of me. I have USD Euro, Chief, and JPY.
I do too. So I do USD in
Oh,
five
here we go.
minutes below, and I do XAU in 5 minutes above.
Here we go. I got it here. Here we go.
That's strange. And it's got to come down
USD.
because even when you look at the chart,
Mhm,
um, and the MACD, it is
mhm,
well above. It's I have a general line of 1.0 across above and below of the median,
mhm,
and it's well above that, which is
mhm,
only when they're going. And so it's starting to trend down now, which is
mhm,
good. Happy days.
mhm,
I
mhm,
might
mhm,
be able to get my account back.
mhm.
And now gold's going down, even though and USD is going down. So have you got MATF up?
Yeah, I do. I do have MATF up. I can't, it's not letting me get this XAU up
Oh,
without
so just
without
XAU,
an account.
you have to go into metals.
So,
Go into metals rather than currencies.
gotcha. And so tell me one more time. So do you have on your MATF, what are you looking at one more time? Because I got it in front of me now. You got XAU USD or just XAU and then USD?
That's what I have. I don't know if you can see that.
Blow you up.
How do I zoom that in? Can I zoom that in? I can't zoom that in. So this here is it's the XAU,
Mhm.
and this here is USD, and they're both 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You can't do 1 minute.
Okay.
But for XAU, you got to choose metals to find it. Do you want me to get closer so you can see it?
No, no, I have it right here. Please connect to
You
create an
haven't?
account.
Okay, good.
It wants me to create an account real quick.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, yeah, I think I do have an account. Actually, yes.
All
No,
right, here we go.
not going. Not going to keep going. Come on. You've got it. You've got to. Strange. It's strange because even USD, while it's because USD is going down, I need it to go up. That's what's happening. Right. Okay. So USD is about to hit a resistance and it's about to go up. Right. So
Yes,
it's hit the resistance about to go up. That's why it kept going up.
yes,
But that's a
yeah.
and everything's about to come down because it's all hit the whole thing. Okay. Right. Gotcha.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. So we'll
That makes sense.
the dollar USD US dollars the same thing as the DXY. We're looking for opposites. It should move opposite of our XAU USD pair.
Yep.
So dollar goes down, XAU USD goes up. Dollar moves up, which we want right now. We want to see the dollar gain strength.
Yeah,
which we've seen it's having a big old struggle at this point of resistance here or
yeah.
support, excuse me,
But it's touched
which
it
is
one,
very
five,
encouraging.
3, 4, 5 times it's touched it. So it's ready
Yes,
to go back
yes,
up.
yes, 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 yes,
So
yes. And so,
it's ready.
yeah,
And there's
yeah,
nothing
we're just sit.
nothing above it. There's no other resistance
No.
above except for a long way up actually.
Mhm.
What do we have? We have
Yes, well, I have a decision making level at about 101.2 on my DXY, so depending on what you're looking at.
yeah, I got the
But a
101.
lot of like you said, a lot of room to run. Once we break this last high on our dollar, ooh, Nelly, we got a good ways to go.
Gotcha.
I like that.
After
I
those
like
two,
that.
a long way to go up, but it does have those two, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I got 101.03 and 101.06. It's as high as it can go before it has to head back down, from what I can tell. Well, actually, if
Sure.
it breaks through that, it goes all the way. Ah, and gold is on the way back down. Happy days.
Yes, sir. Man,
And
I'm just looking through these gold time frames, and man, just the inefficiency that lies below us. I mean, I'm
yeah,
looking at our 4 hour right now. I'm down to 2556.5. Large area of inefficiency begins.
really.
That's a little bit of ways down, but
Oh yeah,
that area of inefficiency occurred September 12th. September 12th.
so that's 50.
So a
That's
couple of
fifty
days
six
ago.
point 56.801.
50, 55.
55.173 is a yeah, is another one.
Yeah.
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 So that's it. I've got that as a 2 hour.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's
Yes. 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 Yes.
one
Yes.
above.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see. Yep.
Gotcha.
And that 2 hour would actually make perfect sense. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just didn't want to have to go through all this stresses watching it going up when I could be making money it going up. I thought it was heading down. I hate seeing, it's
Right.
one of the biggest things, right? When you put it in and then you put in your little red and green picture
Hmm.
and it goes up instead of down and you got to wait.
Right.
Do I have
Right.
to really? I mean, do I have to wait? Really? Do I?
Right.
I,
Wouldn't that be, would it be so nice if it was that easy?
well,
Man, it'd be so
to
nice.
be honest, it has been pretty this week. This is probably the hardest time.
Hmm.
And I've had a very lucrative and fun week with gold. So I'm happy
Yes, sir.
with that.
Yes, sir. And we'll hope, like I said, I feel really comfortable about this position.
Yeah,
I gotta get some breakfast in me, then get to the gym. I just get
cool.
my day going.
You should.
But
It's well
my
past that
target
time,
area.
mate. Well past that time. It's well past that time.
Yes,
I
sir.
just look,
Yes, sir.
just
Yes,
looked
sir.
at the
Yes, sir.
clock. Sorry,
Hey, but
buddy.
no. No, no. This is one of my favorite places to be in the entire world. So it's it's not taking time away from anything else. If anything, other things would take time away from my ability to profit on this $7 trillion market. God damn it.
Yeah, buddy. Come
But
on, come
yeah, so
on.
I'm looking at about 20, yeah, 2570, right where you're at. Um but I'm gonna pay attention to, because once we get down there, I might set an alert right at about 2570, 4,
Yep.
just so I can observe it then and manually exit. Because shoot, if we start to push down, there's so much inefficiency there. I just want to read the momentum and volume to see if I want to stay in for longer
Well,
and kind
do
of
it.
ride the wave down.
I've got a
Um,
resistance line at 2573.613.
mhm. There
That's
you
a
go.
resistance line that I've
Yes.
worked back.
Yes.
So, you're talking about that. So it's around the same place. It's
Yes.
just below it.
Mhm,
But definitely, I agree with you.
mhm,
That's a place to revisit and have a look because once it passes that, and it will,
mhm,
it'll go down to 2570.
mhm. Yeah.
It will.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely will.
Yes, sir. This is gonna be a beautiful position.
Yeah.
Jason, I appreciate the conversation. I'm gonna on Tuesday, I say don't let me forget, but I'm not gonna forget. But we're gonna get back into that planned obsolescence and get back to our magic wand question.
I would
Gonna
love
gonna
to hear.
gonna sit down. Gonna do. I'm thinking probably about 3 separate sessions. I might vary the time between those kind of meditation sessions.
Yep.
And really think about that. Really think about that. It's a fascinating question, um, but I think it could be very, very profound, if it if time is required to really, wrapping your head around it,
Well,
and applying thought to it.
the biggest thing, Q, to keep in mind about this question is a lot of people can't let go of
Hmm.
the fact of what they have around them.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest thing. To seriously consider the question, you really have to, you really, really, really have to let go of any constraints of thought,
Hmm.
possibilities, and what holds you to the person you think you are.
Hmm.
You have to let that be and just go, well, what if?
Hmm.
And actually be in the place of what if.
Hmm.
And a lot of people can't do that. So just remember those words
Yeah.
when you do that, and practice it because breathing, relaxing, meditating, everything that you do, breath work is so important. And to come to a point where, like, imagine if there was nothing
Hmm.
and you had everything,
Hmm.
and that is a place of meditation. So I'd
Yeah.
be really interested to hear your feedback on that, Blake, on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Really,
look forward to it. Yeah, I
I'd
look
love
forward to it.
love to hear it.
Yes, sir. I will. I will. I will. I will.
Sensational.
All right, Jason. Well, happy, as you say, happy days. This position is gonna be a winner,
It's happening already
manifest that
as we
into
speak. It's
existence.
happening. It's
It's,
coming down.
as we were talking, right, as we were talking about. I love it. I love it. I love this game, Jason. I appreciate you. You enjoy your weekend. Get some rest, get some relaxation, get some time with the family. But we'll,
Go
we'll
for
be
a ride
back
in the
same time,
bike,
same
mate.
place.
My girls are
We'll, we'll,
going
we'll
doing
see you
all
on Tuesday.
things with their friends. I'm going for a ride in my
Oh
bike.
yeah, yeah. You enjoy that. You find something to keep yourself busy with. Stay out of trouble.
And you too, Blake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see.